All right, let's just jump right into this explainer because we are exploring a truly revolutionary idea today. We're talking about the concept that happiness, it isn't some distant destination you finally arrive at after years and years of hard work. It's actually a biological switch, and you can literally flip it in seconds. We're going to break down the exact science of how your brain works and show you how to take control of your chemical state right now. No equipment, no money, no weird wellness retreats required.
So, let's ask ourselves a really honest question here. Are we constantly waiting for the perfect circumstances to finally feel happy? Think about it. Most of us treat happiness like it's a package stuck in the mail, right? We tell ourselves it's going to arrive when the stress is finally gone, or when the relationship is totally perfect, when there's more money in the bank, or when that massive project at work is completely done. But here's the catch. While we're sitting around waiting for the stars to align, we are completely ignoring our own biology.
And that right there is the massive divide between mainstream wellness myths and actual scientific reality. We're constantly told to hold out for perfect circumstances. But the truth? We already have these built-in biological switchers. The habits that trigger happiness in seconds aren't the ones you usually see plastered all over the internet. They're not these complicated, exhausting 10-step morning routines. They are simple, biological actions that work directly with your brain's existing chemistry rather than constantly fighting against it.
To show you exactly how this works, we're going to quickly cover 4 key things today. The gratitude flash, micro-giving, the 10-second movement, and finally, we'll pack all this into your brand new biological toolbox.
Let's start with habit number 1, the gratitude flash.
Now, traditional advice usually tells us to write out these generic gratitude lists, things like family, health, having a roof over our heads. Those are absolutely great, but science shows your brain actually habituates to repeated information. If you're writing down the exact same things every single day, your brain essentially gets bored and stops producing that dopamine and serotonin hit. It just becomes this dry intellectual exercise instead of an emotional one. But when you focus on specific, vivid, sensory memories, that powerfully activates your brain's reward circuitry in a way that abstract concepts literally just cannot match.
So the secret sauce here is focusing on a real physical sensation. A gratitude flash isn't about listing what you think you should be thankful for. It's about replaying a highly specific, concrete sensory memory from just the last 24 hours to trigger an immediate chemical response. I'm talking about, say, the exact warmth of your coffee mug in your hands this morning, or the precise sound of your best friend laughing, or even just that physical feeling of sinking into your favorite chair after a super long day.
Actually, I want you to try this with me right now. Close your eyes for just a second. Pick one specific sensory memory from the last 24 hours, something that felt genuinely good in your physical body. Got it? Now hold on to that memory for 30 full seconds. Let every single tiny detail come rushing back. When you do this, your brain isn't just thinking abstractly about being happy. It's actively responding with a real, measurable release of serotonin and dopamine right there on the spot.
Moving right along to habit number 2, micro-giving.
Now, this next habit works through a completely different biological pathway, and it's fascinating. Most people assume that generosity feels good because of the reaction we get, right? The thank you, the smile, the praise. But neuroscientists studying pro-social behavior found something absolutely mind-blowing. That chemical reward, it actually begins the exact moment you form the intention to give. Before you even do the thing, before the other person even reacts, your brain triggers a reward simply because you consciously oriented yourself towards someone else's well-being. And the chemical MVP responsible for this is oxytocin. It's this incredibly powerful happiness chemical that creates feelings of warmth and deep trust. But here is the absolute coolest part about oxytocin. It's one of the very few chemicals in your brain that actually compounds through giving rather than depleting. You literally cannot build up a tolerance to genuine giving. The oxytocin response in your brain gets stronger and stronger every single time you do it. It's like a biological superpower.
So let's flip this switch right now. Think of one specific person in your life. Write them one genuinely true sentence, something you really appreciate about them that you've maybe never said out loud before. And here's my challenge to you. Send it before this explainer is even over. The absolute beauty of your biology is that the oxytocin release begins the second you start typing out that message, long before they ever text you back.
All right, on to habit number 3, the 10-second movement.
I love this one because it requires absolutely zero willpower. We are constantly sold this idea that we need these long, grueling, exhausting workouts to get any real mental benefits from exercise. But the research completely shatters that belief.
It turns out the endorphin and dopamine response to physical movement does not wait around for a 45-minute sustained treadmill session to kick in. Your mood actually improves incredibly fast with just brief, highly intentional movement.
10. That is the magic number here. Researchers over at the University of Vermont proved that just 10 to 20 seconds, yes, seconds, of vigorous movement produces a totally measurable neurochemical shift, and that shift improves your mood scores within minutes. Not an hour later, not after a massive sweat session. Literally just 10 seconds.
So, why does something so incredibly short work so well? Well, it all comes down to your brain's ancient evolutionary programming. Think about it. In our ancestral environment, sudden, vigorous physical movement usually meant you were either aggressively pursuing a reward or you were frantically escaping a threat. To keep you alive, your brain rapidly optimizes your state. The very second you move vigorously, it floods your system with dopamine for motivation and endorphins for pain suppression and euphoria. Your brain doesn't know you're just jumping around in your living room. It just knows your body is moving with intense energy and it responds instantly.
So here's your action step. And yeah, right now. Stand up, jump in place, do 10 jumping jacks, put on a song and dance, or literally just shake your arms and legs for exactly 10 seconds. Get that heart rate up. By the time you sit back down, I guarantee you'll notice how the chemical environment in your brain has shifted. That mental fog gets noticeably thinner. Not because your life problems magically disappeared, but because you literally changed your internal biological environment.
And that brings us to Section 4, your biological toolbox.
Let's pull all of this together. We've got the gratitude flash, where holding a sensory memory for 30 seconds triggers serotonin and dopamine. We've got micro-giving, where sending a genuine message releases a wave of compounding oxytocin. And we have the 10-second movement, where vigorous physical action floods your system with endorphins and dopamine. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that these are not just flimsy psychological coping strategies where you try to just think positive. No, these are reliable, rapid-fire biological tools that you can pull out anytime life feels a bit too heavy. If you take away anything from this explainer, let it be this quote right here. Your brain does not need perfect circumstances to produce happiness. It needs the right signal. Stop waiting for your external world to be flawless. Stop waiting for the weekend, or that big promotion, or for all your stress to magically vanish. Because you, right now, possess the exact biological signals needed to completely change how you feel on the inside at this exact moment.
So, to wrap things up, I want to leave you with a question. Which biological switch are you going to flip first today? Are you going to hold on to a sensory memory, send a genuine text to a friend, or just jump up and shake it out for 10 seconds? The chemistry of your happiness is literally waiting inside of you right now. You just have to pull the lever. Thanks so much for exploring the incredible science of your brain.